Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. I'm Danielle, and if you are new here, then welcome. I'm pleased to have you here. Today I'm talking about the things that I picked up in Lidl and what I plan to eat during the week as well. Didn't end up having to buy a huge amount of items as I have done that huge Costco stock up last weekend. And then I have quite a few things still in the fridge, the freezer and the cupboards as well. So I am trying to make the most of being able to do meals that incorporate things I already have rather than purchase more things. And with that, it was a lot of fresh items as well. So let me show you what I did end up picking up. I'll put the prices on the bottom of the screen as always. And then I will go through my planned meals for the week as well. So I did end up just getting a few more bits from Lidl. Like I said, as you can see, it is definitely a small amount. I got some potatoes, just some loose baking potatoes. I will be probably ending up using these either as chips. I might end up mashing them as well. I know they're not the ideal potatoes for that, but they obviously don't tend to do loose potatoes of other varieties. I also picked up some green beans as well. These will just be going on the side of a few meals. I might end up chopping a few up and putting them into a dish as well. And then I got some blueberries. I had a Lidl Plus discount for 30% off of berries, and that could apply for up to 3 items. So I did also get some blackberries as well. I was going to get some raspberries, but they didn't actually have any. So instead, it was just the blueberries and the blackberries, but that will still be more than enough for out the week anyway. I then also picked up a medium avocado, just to have for sort of a breakfast or a lunch somewhere along the lines as well, because I do quite enjoy having an avocado from time to time. Again, to have as sides or incorporated into some meals, I picked up a broccoli as well, and then I'll probably end up using the stalk to go into another stock, as I sometimes do. And then, just as you know, if you don't already, then remember to be replacing your toothbrush every sort of 3 to 4 months. And it is that time for me, so I picked up another toothbrush as well. And then I got some reduced fat creme fraiche as well. Just there was a recipe that needed single cream for it, but I couldn't see any single cream. They only had double cream or creme fraiche, so I did pick up some creme fraiche instead. And then I picked up some more 0% fat Greek yogurt as well. And then I was completely out of mustard. You might remember my umming and ahhing about whether I'd pick any more mustard up. I did end up getting some of this whole grain mustard and Dijon mustard, and both of them are obviously at a reasonable price point. And I am currently at a place where I am making room in my fridge, so I do have space for them once I do open them as well. That is everything I did end up getting in Lidl this week. Okay, so like I said, you can see it wasn't a huge amount. Again, just over a £10 spend this week once you factored in various Lidl Plus kind of discounts. But there were some meals I didn't end up cooking last week, and I did film them. I just haven't sort of put together a meals of the week video, just because whilst I was still getting back into the swing of cooking and doing it successfully, I don't think that my passion for filming at that point in time was quite there. It's definitely back, and it's definitely a lot more where it needs to be. So hopefully it will be coming again next week for my meals of the week videos. But I didn't want to say to you, here's this video, and it not be to the best of my ability, to not have the passion, because I think that would just be doing everybody and some of the food a disservice as well. But there were some things I didn't get around to cooking last week that were on that meal plan, and that included the easy garlic noodles and the dan dan noodles as well. Again, I didn't really need to purchase anything for either of those. The only thing I've done is purchase vegetables to go on the side. And then I'm going to do a sausage pasta bake. Again, I have sausages, pasta, all those kind of things already around. The only thing I got for that, again, was sort of some of the vegetables to be able to put into there or go on the side, something like that. I got some halloumi in Costco last week, so I'm going to do some of that. And then I have some quinoa unopened in the cupboard as well. So I'm going to do it in some sort of a salad, a warm kind of salady type thing, just to be able to open the quinoa and also obviously find a good use for the halloumi, but keeping the items I need to purchase to a minimum. Then, because from those chicken thighs I put some of them into the freezer, but I can obviously pull some of them out, and I still have some mushrooms, and then
I'm going to do it in a kind of a creamy sauce, which is why I got the creme fraiche. The recipe that I took a look at suggested single cream, but they only had double cream or reduced creme fraiche. So I decided to get the reduced creme fraiche instead of the sort of the double cream, just because I feel that that would be a little bit better. Yes, it's thicker, but I'd rather do that and perhaps just add in a splash of milk or something to make it that little bit looser. Then I'm going to do that with some rice or something, and that's why I got those green beans as well, because obviously apart from the mushrooms, otherwise there isn't any vegetables included. Okay, I thought I was going to sneeze again. If you've been watching my videos recently, I've had cough interludes, I've had sneezing interludes. Every single video, because I don't know what's been going on, but for the last month or so I do just keep sneezing a lot. So perhaps I've developed some sort of seasonal allergy, and which would be quite devastating in my early 30s, but I'm aware that that is possible. But yes, so I do just have those 5 meals planned in. Obviously there are more than 5 days of the week, but for instance today, Saturday, when I'm filming this, I ended up going out and having a really large cooked breakfast. I made up some overnight oats last night that I didn't end up eating for breakfast today, so I'm probably just going to have that for dinner, perhaps work through some of the snacks that I've been having. So that is kind of the plans for the meals of the week. In terms of breakfast and lunches, like I said, I have overnight oats that I'm going to keep trying to do, or I have overnight kind of Weetabix and things that I can do to mix up the textures a little bit, I suppose. And then I have bread as well, so sort of for sandwiches, for toast, anything like that, for either breakfast or lunches, somewhere sort of along those lines as well. So nothing necessarily super fancy for those, but still hopefully delicious enough, and like I said, speedy and simple to go to, especially as this week is expected to basically be the busiest week of the year at work. I'm sure my energy levels are going to be pretty drained, because whilst I can only do one call at a time, it's still going to be back to back and relentless throughout as well. So hopefully I will survive the week. If you don't never see another video from me again, it means that I did not survive the week, but hopefully I will. Then I only have to get through this week, through Monday of next week, and then I'm into team leader training anyway. But I will say that if you happen to have watched things like my Project Use It Up or anything like that videos, then I've talked about how I want to obviously reduce my sugar content, or reduce the amount of sugar I'm consuming to just being the kind of minimum amount, sort of natural fruits, but still again considering carefully how much of those I actually have. And then things like making sure I go for reduced sugar options, anything like that, in sort of say tomato ketchup for instance as well. And with that, my mum asked me today if I wanted an Easter egg, and I said no thank you, because I am trying to get better at sort of cutting back down on all those things. My weight has definitely gone up, sort of from when my partner and his brother came to visit, and then me continuing to not necessarily eat that fantastically after they've left. So I am trying to knuckle back down and get back into healthier habits and healthier routines as well. And the only way I'm going to do that is if I'm tough with myself and say, no, I don't want to bring any more of these items in. You know, I want to try to do it so once they're gone, they are actually gone, and that I'm planning carefully healthier, lower sugar calorie snacks, all that kind of thing in advance, to make sure I don't end up going off track with things too badly, and I have sustainable options in place to be able to keep it going at a consistent pace. But yeah, I'm looking forward to some of these meals. You know, I haven't actually done quinoa for ages. I picked it up ages ago and I never opened it, I never cooked with it. I don't have halloumi a huge amount, so that will be a nice treat for me. And then I'm looking forward to giving a couple of new recipes a go as well. And then things like the sausage pasta bake, being able to make that up and perhaps make enough up to be able to have it for lunch the following day as well, especially if it is a busy one. But I hope you've all been enjoying your long Easter weekend, if you're the kind of person that's lucky enough to get bank holidays off, to have had the Friday and the Monday off on both sides of this weekend. Or if not, then I hope you managed to get a little bit of rest somewhere along the lines as well. But I do appreciate you so much for taking the time to watch. I hope that me talking about the meals of the week, showing you how little I had to purchase because of making sure I'm trying to use up things carefully that I already have in, taking a look through my fridge, my freezer and my cupboards before I write up my list, has helped to give you a little bit of inspiration to do a bit of a project pantry and use it up for different things that you already have as well. And if you did enjoy it, please consider liking and subscribing, especially since you're still here. It will mean that then you'll get to see this kind of video again next week, maybe meals of the week videos, some reviews, some recipes, project use it up videos that include beauty, skincare, home products, food, as well as sometimes book videos as well. So there is a whole variety of content over here. And like I say, even if you just subscribe to it because you only want to see sort of the grocery videos, anything like that, then that would be much appreciated, and I would love to have you stopping by more regularly. And as always, if you happen to have anything interesting to say about perhaps your favourite quinoa recipe or something like that, do get involved in the comments below, because I do love to hang out with you when I can as well. So as always, once I stop getting blinded by this sun, thank you so much for watching, and until I do see you again, take care and bye for now.